All right, hello and welcome back. In this video, I want to share with you the third value that we have here at ClickMail, and that is to solve problems. And yes, these values are directly in in um, in direct response to culture within a lot of Christian ministries. In the church, at least, and again, I speak primarily with experience here in the West in the United States, and we've worked with quite a few Western ministries outside the US. So primarily from that perspective, it may be different in other cultures and countries. But to that end, we have a lot of good ideas. And so this one is solve problems. We have a lot of good ideas and we think we're solving problems, but many times ministry leaders do this in the most and I say this with love. I'm just being direct. You're here with me and we're going to get to know each other. So I'm just going to tell you honestly, they try to solve problems in the most naive way possible. And I used to do this. So it's not a criticism. I'm just saying what it is. And I'll tell you, a naive business owner or entrepreneur will say this: I have a great idea. And then it's like, here's what we'll do. I'm going to go to the supermarket and I'm going to buy a big giant jar of pickles. This is the idea. I'm going to buy a big giant jar of pickles. And what am I going to do? I'm going to take all the pickles out. I'm going to throw those away. Those are gross. Nobody likes those. Then I'm going to take the juice and I'm going to pour the juice into little cups and I'm going to put popsicle sticks in them and I'm going to freeze them and we'll have pickle pops. Whoa. Then we'll start a pickle pop business and it's going to be like a hot day and it'll be like, buy a pickle pop. And you think it's the greatest idea ever. That's what we do in ministry. And it turns out it's absolutely, that's gross. Nobody wants a pickle pop. I actually looked these up online. It turns out they exist. I used this as an example for a long time and I think people get it, but there are actually pickle pops online you can buy. Anyway, um, which is surprising, but yeah, it turns out most people don't want a pickle popsicle. That's gross, but our ideas always seem good to us. And in regard to solving problems, it turns out that whatever you think a problem is probably not the problem for the person you're talking to. You're different people. So when you do marketing and when you do ministry correctly, you have to get outside of your own head as the ministry leader or as a Christian entrepreneur. You cannot have a good idea for your audience. You can't know what's best for them. You have to get out of your head and go into their shoes and put yourself in their life and say, okay, who's my congregation? Oh, it's a single mom. Okay. Well, if I was a single mom, what would my schedule look like? How many kids do I have? 3 kids. And I don't have a husband. So what am I doing? I get up at 9 a.m. There's already 9 a.m. That's probably wrong. 5 a.m. And there's probably already kids freaking out and screaming and being crazy. I have to get ready for work. I have to take the little kids to the daycare. Then and so you put your head and it's like, based on their life and their perspective, what's their problem? And you can give surveys, you can do all kinds of stuff to figure this out. So you come to the right problem, and we miss that in ministry because we say, I got a great idea. Let's start a Bible study. We had a commenter on our blog, which is great. I'm glad they're starting a Bible study. But it was, hey, the ladies have a Bible study, so the men should have a Bible study too. It's a small church. They said there's 30 people in the church, including kids. So, hey, maybe that's a great idea, but that's small enough. Maybe all of those other guys also already have a Bible study. So you're just creating something that's totally unneeded and putting resources into organizing it and planning it and making lessons and all this stuff. And it turns out none of them even want it. So it's not that they're wrong or right, but it's that the decision-making process does not increase the likelihood of having a successful ministry that produces results. So the first thing is you have to make sure the problem you're trying to solve is real or likely to be real. So you want to make lots of mistakes, but you don't want to make more mistakes than you need to. So by solving a real problem that your audience really has, not a problem you think they have, you're going to increase that. Now, what happens when you solve people's problems? They come to get their problems solved. Does the doctor come to you or do you go to the doctor? Well, you maybe used to come a long time ago, but now you go to the doctor. Does the grocery store come to you or do you go to the grocery store? People go where their problems are solved. So if you solve and this is the most beautiful thing, because this is what Jesus did. If you solve all of the biggest problems in the life of your congregation or in the life of your, clients, if you're a Christian entrepreneur, those people will go everywhere and they will get everyone and they will bring them back to you, as long as that problem exists within those people. And that we cover over in the church growth and ministry growth Bible study, which is also in the free plan. So you can check that out. That's a really solid, in-depth study I put together. Some of the most profound sort of marketing principles right in the Bible. And you wouldn't believe it. Oh, there's marketing in the Bible. I didn't believe it until I saw it. And I was like, no way. So check that out. If you solve problems, people are going to come to you and they're going to tell other people, which is called word of mouth marketing, and they're going to come to you. And I got all kinds of Bible verses in that other course. We're not getting into that. I'm just telling you the values. So number one is massive action. Number two is make mistakes. Number three is solve problems. And in the next video, we're going to get into meeting needs. So I'll see you there. Thanks for being here. God bless.